17. I think I would have went to school for that. So creative, so wonderful. But growing up with, with Brian growing up with me, the growth of my business, I had such an unexpected person who stepped in and made it what it is today, my little boy. I mean, what mothers raise a child thinking, when they're like 2 and 3, every mother sees that little boy just sitting and looking at you and staring at you and listening to you. I had no clue that this 3-year-old, 4-year-old, up through when he became 30 after school, he actually was listening to everything I told him. Because when I was able to retire from my day job, I did get a nice retirement, but I wanted to travel. I would like to have done a lot of things that I wouldn't have been able to do. So Brian said, Mom, I think we could take your business and let me help you grow this business. I think I might have laughed.
You did.
Yeah, I think I did.
Yeah.
I said, Brian, I'm thinking I have a great bit. Brian, even though it's through rec centers, and I'll tell you, you get some of the best instructors in rec centers because they do it part-time and they don't want to go out and rent a studio or whatever. And you really get a good education through that program. But I told him, you don't understand. I have 50 adults dancing with me now. I am 100% sure I have every adult who wants to tap dance in Pennsylvania, in the Harrisburg area, dancing with me now. And all his comment was, well, let's see. So,
what did you do to build it as a business?
Well, it's interesting. I mean, it's the way I approach any kind of brand problem or any kind of business issue is it's finding what a culture is, and I think a culture is what people grab onto, and if you can package that culture up the right way and in a really truthful and emotional way, I think that's the key. And we're talking about, all I want to do is just double her program, just to give her enough independence and enough.
The word is just make it 100, Mother. I'm like, 100? Are you crazy?
Well, and I knew what she loved about teaching, and I knew that my role with my mother was I couldn't just tell her what she needed to do, or I couldn't just say, well, here's all the things that you have to do. Here's a checklist. That's overwhelming for somebody. The language is different. Talking about press and marketing, or talking about website terms, or setting up, even looking at her schedule in a different way. It's I think real important brands or real connected brands do stem from a strong partnership, and those partnerships happen the best when there's two people who bring two very different things together, but they have that similar passion, and that there's a really strong overlap. And the more I started talking to her about what was happening in these classes that I've always respected, but I've never seen her teach. I just knew she was amazing. So I thought, oh please, she needs. Well, she can handle this. I put together a very quick 5-page business plan for a 2-year growth for her, just to I thought, let's give her 2 years of working her full-time job while we're building something. And I knew that it was, she was in a very sensitive place facing retirement, and I knew that she's a very practical person, and talk is cheap, and we needed to actually see real growth. And it took 2 years since that business plan before she actually let me help her.
It did.
A little stubborn,
Yeah, it took because I'm thinking, I'm the mother. What does Brian know? I don't care, college graduate or not, this is my business. What does Brian know? And finally, and you know what, I think too, not only am I a lucky mother that he wanted to help me, he didn't give up. He didn't give up. And so many people out there ask me, Vicki, how did all that happen? How did you go from 50 people to 500? And you know, you start scanning your mind. There's so many things that developed. And my bottom line is, and I tell them now, is, you know, everybody needs a Brian. Everyone needs a Brian. You need that person that knows enough about you, that cares so much about you, and is going to just push you a little bit. And like the dancers in my program going out of their box to be a tap dancer, I totally went out of my box to now have Brian as my adult person. And he's the one that knows about this other half of the business. And nobody can do this on your own. You have to have somebody. You can't do everything by yourself, even if I was still 22.
Is Brian a dancer?
What's that?
Are you a dancer?
Well, I don't know if we would technically call me a dancer. I dance, but you know, I didn't grow up dancing.
Have you taken lessons from your mom?
I have taken lessons, yeah, and usually every year there's as new beginner classes come in, I take the same new beginner class with them.
And
so
he
I feel
looks so good too, taking that same class.
my shuffle, slaps, my riffs.
Yeah.
I'm very good at the new beginner routine. Yeah.
So a little bit of the basics about it. Where is the group located?
The studio, I have a studio, and you know, I mentioned earlier I didn't have a studio. It's in Lemoyne, Pennsylvania. And Lemoyne, for those that don't know, it's in my mind, Lemoyne's this little town. And I thought, where in the world am I going to find this space big enough in Lemoyne? Well, when I found it, I called Brian. I was getting ready to retire. I was 2 months from being 62 years old. And I called Brian in New York and I said, I found my studio. It's exactly where I wanted. It's 2 blocks from the bridge. It's in Lemoyne, Pennsylvania. It's the most awesome little town. And he started to panic like I did originally when he called me. Mom, maybe we should call a realtor. Mom, maybe we should look. Mom, maybe. I said, no, you know what? We don't have to. This is perfect. I wanted an all-white brick building. I wanted an industrial-looking building. And I was able to find it in my first look without even officially looking. The building in Lemoyne was built in 1913. And the studio was the stables to the Lemoyne Sleepers. And they kept the horses here and the buggies so they could deliver the mattresses. So it had a history behind it. My office even has the stable doors, the double doors for the horses. Couldn't be more perfect right here in central Pennsylvania.
So does your group perform, or is it just classes here?
Oh no, they perform. We perform. We have an annual, I like to call it spring show rather than recital. Recital sort of sends up little waves of nerves, even more than a spring show. I do not require any adult to be in the show. Most dance studios, you expect the children, and you do, you should. I have, out of the 500, I have about right now 240 adults that do go in the show. And after that many were on stage, I was kind of glad that they all didn't want to be in the show. I don't know where I would have put them. But we moved our show from different venues through the years. Like I started out the last class, we were in the elementary school, and I had the husbands and the mothers and the parents, and we all danced there. Then we moved up to Good Hope Middle School in Cumberland County, and they had a small stage. We thought we were big time there. I taught there, and they let me use their facility there. I never charged them. But then all of a sudden, I started getting like 80, 90 people coming to see these shows. Word of mouth, you should see these older people dance. They're so good. And the next thing we did, I found champions bar and sports bar in High Spire. I grew up in Steelton, Pennsylvania. Very, very proud of being a Steelton girl. And my friend said, we got to go see Champions. I think you'll like it. It's a nice restaurant, there's a bar, and there's this fabulous nightclub. They have stage, they have lighting. And I thought, you know what? This will be the perfect venue for my Saturday or Sunday afternoon shows. We're all adults, so I can have it in a bar setting or a restaurant setting. And I only had 50 dancers then dancing on stage. It turned out we had 250 people come to see our show. They were watching the monitors from the restaurant because they couldn't get in to see the show. So things just grew and grew. And
Now you're at the Forum.
Now,
For the past 4
yep,
years.
now we're at the Forum.
1,700 people in the audience, 200
Yes.
something, 200 plus dancers on stage. It's a big benefit for domestic violence, YWCA, domestic violence shelter, and we're really proud of the production. So, what started back in '97 in elementary school cafeteria turns into one of the biggest venues in Pennsylvania with 1,700 in the audience. And personally, as great as the shows are, the outreach and the charitable aspect is honestly what I feel most proud about that we do, and it's something that will continue to grow as this program grows. And I just think it's amazing that doing something that we love so much actually can give back by just allowing other people to just be happy. And it's I don't know, it's my most proud thing.
Yeah.
You probably have different answers to this from different perspectives, but from a marketing perspective, how big can it get?
Well, good question, and I think a simple answer is I think that this could live in most cities in the country.
Have you talked about
And
franchising it?
Yeah, no, absolutely. There's a real plan in place. We have, it's funny, people that are calling. It's, we've always been very careful to protect this business and grow it organically and make sure that there's a real heart behind it. And now that the book launched and we're getting some real national exposure, we have franchise people calling. We have, actually we're represented by one of the biggest Hollywood agents for film and TV. And I mean, this is insane. But there's a lot of discussions with movie studios and television, for TV shows. And we're sort of taking this in stride, but I know that the most important thing for my mother to do is teach the world to dance, and I think she's going to.
Well, at this point, how much of the work is hands-on or feet-on for you, where you're actually doing the teaching, and how much of it is spent kind of maintaining the business?
Hands-on. I have, when I first got the studio, I taught everything by myself. And then I brought in 2 dancers. One dancer, actually my first instructor that I trained, danced with me at 11 years old when I was 17. So I taught her how to dance. She moves exactly like me. We're doing a warm-up. Her hand is identical to where my hand is. So she was my natural first choice. And then I had another instructor join us, which is her daughter, who ended up learning how to dance through Forey Garrett, who I taught to dance. So she has our style. But I originally, just 2 years ago, I was teaching about 20 hours a week. And I have what I call a instructor boot camp. I want my program run like if you can't make my class in your level, you can go to Luann or Jess's class. And you're going to learn the same thing, the same way. It's sort of like a McDonald's. Already we're doing sort of franchising in here. I want every student to get the same type of education in dance. It's important to me. It's very important to me that they learn the right technique. It's not just go in line and if you're moving with the other people, you're good. No, I want no heel sounds, no this. Big arms, move your heads. And after a while, now I have 7 instructors since the last 4 years. I have 7 instructors, I have an administrative assistant, and I said to Brian,